bronze sword from Final Fantasy X-2. It was a really nice replica. My buddy Pedro let me borrow it, and I really just wanted to borrow it so I could chop down shit in my backyard, which I did quite a lot. Of course. But anyway, so I just wanted to chop down shit in my backyard with it, and I did. I chopped down a lot of weeds. We had like these huge fucking weed stalks, and I just sliced them to hell and back, and it was just a very satisfying, very, very therapeutic thing for me, because I was a very angry teenager. Well, anyway, so I had this fucking sword, and I was like, all right, cool, I'm gonna bring this back to Pedro. So being the intelligent 15-year-old that I am, and I use that term very sarcastically, I strapped the sword to my back using a belt in order to hold the sheath. Now, keep in mind, this sword was very wide, so the belt loop for the sheath itself was pretty wide. It was about that big, and I was using a belt about yay big. So it just was not going to work out. But I strapped it to my back, and I carried it on my bike, and I was like, all right, let's go. And so it's Halloween, and I'm carrying around a real sword on my back, strapped to my very real back, wearing a costume cloak and a mask. Now, I have every reason to get caught by the cops, because check this out. While we were biking along, I was grabbing at trees and shit, and a cop pulled over and told me to stop grabbing at the trees because it was defacement of public property. And being the rebellious piece of shit that I was like, And so he, let me off with a warning. He saw the sword and he didn't really question anything because it was fucking Halloween, and thank God it didn't look too convincing from the handle, even though it was very much real. Yeah, so we're biking along with this thing, and it's tipping and wobbling, and I'm trying to keep it in place, and it's not exactly working out, and then finally, the bottom-heavy sword starts to capsize. It starts to fall, and me not knowing the rule of blades, which is when any sharp object is dropped to the floor, you are to let it drop and hit the ground. Do not, under any circumstances, try to catch it, no matter what. And I did not do that in the slightest. What I ended up doing was I ended up reaching to try and grab it, and instead of grabbing the hilt, which is what I thought I felt, I actually grabbed the blade, and the blade cut down to my tendon and, like, fully exposed the fucking tendon, like, the full thing. It missed by, like, a millimeter, apparently, because there was, like, a slight bit of trauma on the surface of it, but it was in no way cut. So I look down at my finger, and I'm looking at this huge gash, and it looks like Pac-Man's mouth, like, just a ow, ow. So I'm looking down at my finger, and it's just white flesh, and I'm just like, flesh is supposed to be red, what the dick? And it's just white flesh, and then all of a sudden, blood everywhere. Just starts pooling out of this fucking wound, and just dripping onto the ground like a faucet. And I'm just like, oh, there it is. And it was weird because I stared at it for what felt like a few seconds. Like, it felt like 15 seconds before any blood actually started to pool into it. And I was just like, what the dick? And so I'm looking down at this. The wound is just gushing blood at this point. And my girlfriend at the time is like, we need to take you to the hospital. And I'm just like, no, fuck that. I'm fine. It's just a cut. I'll put a fucking Band-Aid on it and we'll be done with it. And she's like, no, that's not just a cut. Like, that is a really bad fucking wound. You need to go to a doctor. So we go over to the nearby fire station. Now, you see, I try to avoid this fire station as much as possible for a very specific reason. And that particular reason is that one of my dad's friends, a good soapbox derby buddy of his by the name of Mike Slate, works as a firefighter at this particular fire station. Now, much to my dismay, I really don't have any other place I can go. So I go over there, and they have an ambulance, and I'm sitting here praying to God that Mike Slate is not currently in, because if he's in, I'm fucked. So I'm like, please don't be Mike Slate. Please don't be Mike Slate. We ring the doorbell, and who should fucking answer but, hey, Zach, what's up? Oh, hi there, Mike Slate. I appear to have injured myself pretty badly. Could I get, like, some medical attention? And the first thing he does is, oh, crap, well, let me call your dad and get him over here before we take you off. And I'm like, oh, shit. So the last thing I want is for my dad to find out with this. And I'm sitting here, and they got one guy who's, like, taking me into the back room. You know, he's patching up my hand as best he can. He's putting gauze pads on it and wrapping it, taping it so that there's pressure on the wound and the bleeding isn't going to get any worse. And I'm sitting here, and I'm just, like, absolutely miserable. And this guy gets up, and he goes into the other room with all of his buddies, and the buddies are kind of looking around, and they're talking with my girlfriend, asking her what happened. And then all of a sudden, I notice one of them starts to get really excited, and he's like, you guys, look at this, look at this. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And then these motherfuckers, well, my ass is bleeding in the back room for like 15 minutes. These motherfuckers start picking up the sword that I just sliced my finger open with, and they start posing with it, and they start taking fucking pictures, and they start adding it to their Facebooks and shit like that. And I'm sitting here like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Like, is this for real? I'm sitting here in this back room bleeding, and these guys are fucking posing with my sword. Are you kidding me? So, needless to say, I'm a little bit pissed, and they haul my ass up into the ambulance. I go off to the fucking hospital, and I get my finger patched up, and it took like 6 stitches to get this fucking thing patched up. So they stitched me back up. I had to have it like fucking taped off for like a month, couldn't use it. And then when I got it back, I had to self-remove the stitches, which was a bizarre experience because like there is no sensation weirder than the sensation of feeling something pull through your flesh, but it's not pain. Like you clip the stitches and you pull them out, and you just feel the flesh that had started healing around it, like start to go, oh no, better let that out, because it's still very weak flesh trying to attach to something that's not uniform. So, very bizarre experience. Yeah, no, I can still move it fine. Like the finger is completely fine. I missed the tendon by about 1 millimeter, I think they said, which was like very, very, very lucky on my part, because any farther and it would have just been gone. You came in on me explaining about the time I almost lost my finger. The second time I almost lost my finger. Ugh, chest tubes? Fuck. Holy God, dude, I'm so sorry. What happened? Like, just life support? Respiratory support? Good, 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 good. Come on, Donkey Kong. Come on, Donkey Kong. Don't be a donkey dickhole. Don't be a... You're a fucking dick. Finish! Feel that? Put a pin in your hand. Wait a few minutes and pull it out slowly. No. Oh, you tested positive for tuberculosis. Jesus Christ, dude. Fuck. That's rough. Yeah, the second time I almost cut off my hand. Well, this particular finger. The first time I did it was when I was 4. So, the first time I did it, I was 4 years old. And again, being the bright 4-year-old child that I was, I had this notion. And this notion was simply this. I really liked the flowers that grew in our front yard. And I knew that flowers came from flower buds. But it was my knowledge at 4 years old that flowers just existed inside the buds. And that if you just tore open the bud, the flower would just pop out like a cartoon. Because, you know, I was fucking 4. So I go into the front yard, and I pick off, like, 9 of these buds, and they're these, like, very hard, rough-feeling buds. They grow in these domestic bushes. Very pretty flowers. Do not remember the name. I took them inside with me. And I had watched my mom cut sandwiches enough times to know, like, the proper etiquette for cutting something, you know? Like, put your hand on top, and then, you know, push down with all your force, but don't push down too hard, yada, yada, yada. Like, I understood the basics of that. So I start cutting open these flower buds. And much to my confusion, I cut open the flower buds and there's nothing inside but like a bunch of watery, gooey shit and a bunch of seeds. And I'm like, yo, where's the fucking flower? So I'm not seeing any flowers. I'm a little bit pissed. I keep cutting them open thinking, well, maybe that one was sick. Maybe that one was broken. Da 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 da. So I cut open like 3 of these things. And about the time I get to the 4th one, I push down as hard as I can. I feel something cut beneath the knife, and I look down, and the bud is intact. Now, again, I'm 4 years old, but I'm smart enough to understand that when you feel something cut beneath a knife, and you look at the object that you have just cut, that means that you have cut something else entirely, because the fact that this is still whole does not make sense, so I need to find out what I did cut to cause, you know, this sensation underneath the knife. And I'm looking around like, yo, what the fuck did I cut? And I look at my finger, and it's kind of dangling there, and blood's just kind of going, like squirting out and pulsing a little bit. Okay. And I start screaming because I still didn't even make the connection that I had cut my finger, but I was smart enough to know that I was in fucking pain. So I have a little personal squirt gun that I'm just running around the house painting the walls with. I run into the living room. The carpet's white. There's blood all over the fucking carpet. I'm screaming at the top of my lungs. My parents think that I've fallen down the stairs or something. They come downstairs to see my personal little squirt gun just fucking painting a mural to my absolute dismay. And my parents freak the fuck out and run downstairs as fast as they can. And they scoop me up and they're like, oh my God! And so they throw me into the back of the car. They drive me as fast as they can to the nearest hospital. The hospital puts me on a fucking stretcher. And they start, like, poking my hands with anesthetic. And they have to inject your hands a lot. They have to put a lot of anesthesia into your hands in order to do hand surgery. Because the hand's such a sensitive part of the body that it's like, no! I botched it. The hand's such a sensitive part of the body that they gotta, like, numb it a bit at a time. So, I get pricked in the hand, like, 10 times before they start, like, actually doing something to my hand. I'm sitting here just, like, disoriented from pain and everything. I can barely breathe. And then I wake up and we're heading home. And my hand is, like, in a full fucking cast. And I'm like, oh my God. And my dad's just like, hey, buddy, how you feeling? And I'm just like... He's like, hey... We're gonna go get you something to cheer you up, okay? And he goes into the nearest gas station, and he walks out with this bouquet of Tootsie Pops. And he's just like, here you go, bud. And my little 4-year-old ass reaches for it with the fucking cast hand and kind of like crab claws it. And I'm still just like... like kind of fucking pissed off and upset, but also really happy that I just got a fucking bouquet of Tootsie Pops that are all mine. Oh man, it was a fucked up day. Yeah, it was pretty bad. It was pretty fucked. It was pretty fucked. I just kind of crab clawed it. That was, what a year. What a year. Good job, Mario! Good job, Mario! Good job, Mario! Yes! Good. That's what I want. Yeah, I know. I've had some pretty fucked up stuff happen in my life. They make for very funny stories, though. Like, very funny stories. Very funny stories. It's a bouquet of Tootsie Pops. Get off my back. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Yep. Finish! My friend's dad was a store owner, and these two guys took a stuff from him. He took both of them down and didn't realize when he cut his arm until his coworkers came to see what happened. Yeah, that sounds about right. Like, I think the thing is that you get, like, this weird adrenaline rush that kind of, like, numbs your hand. What's up, Link Beats Mario? Cut your finger off when you were 10? There was some article I read about some kid who, like, was at a rave and tore his pinky off. And then he just wrapped his shirt up in it and then started, like, fucking skanking for 30 more minutes before his buddies took him to a hospital. Because he's like, fuck it, I paid 10 quid to get in here. I only been here an hour. Am I gonna head home tonight? Fuck no. Oh, this ain't bad RNG. What's up? Hold on. What is it? It's delicious. Eloquently put. You can dig it. It smells really good from here. Ooh. Hell yeah. That's so good. That's so good. Did you get a 25 of that?
I got 2.
That's good. That's so good. Damn it. I just squandered a good run. Because I was trying to be overcautious, and I really wanted to try that thing, dude. That was really good, dude. It's one of those vape pens, and like, oh, God. It was Cherry Lifesaver. Cherry Lifesaver. Nearly cut your finger off doing the dishes, nearly cut it off right at the joint. Took an hour and a half to get my damn stitches. The doctor there. Screwed. Wow. Yeah. Fuck these double drift turnings. Dude, no, seriously? These turns are really weird, because, like, I don't know what the timing's like. I'm still trying to figure that out, and that's the thing, is, like, I had a good run there, and I fucking lost it. If I had just gotten past that, because what I was trying to do is I was trying not to go too fast, because if you go more than 100 over these turns, you're going to spin out, but if you only go 90 the entire time, you're not going to be able to catch up to these guys. I don't know. I've told most of the stories a lot on stream. I don't know. It doesn't need to be about stories, you know what I mean? Like, I'll play video games, man. Polio! Yeah, I know. E-cigs and vapes are a lot more friendly. Ah, peachy bitch. Yeah. Yeah, Polio, if you want, they make high nicotine vape oil so that, like, when you hit it, it has the same kind of a burn as a cigarette. So you can try that and see if that helps. You sliced your scalp open trying to be a ghost when I was 5. I slammed my head against the night table and started screaming bloody murder. I was rushed to the hospital. I remember the order yelling, "That's my blood, give it back," at the nurse. I'm sorry, I read that in Toki's voice, so all I heard was, "That's my blood! Gives it back!"
Tokis, you have to let the doctors take your bloods.
No, Squiscars, that's my bloods! I want it back! Oh, fuck that. Oh, Mario. Sonic Ash? Nah, I'm pretty much done with Five Nights. It's really run its course, and until it starts introducing new stuff, I really don't feel the need to play it. So, I don't know, like, it's a game that's fun for a little bit when you first play it, but it's not, like, it's not always going to be funny. Or it's not always going to be fun, so, and in my opinion, it's more than run its course at this point, so. Yeah. Again, I've streamed it a couple times. I enjoyed it. A lot of people enjoyed it, but it's a game that it's like, it has only so much playability. You kids and your damn video games. Excuse you, sir. My video games are good. PS2. Man, growing up, we didn't have shit for video game consoles. See, what happened in my house was my parents divorced at 7. So we got the 64 in 1999, right near right near the end of the 64's lifespan. So we had the Nintendo 64 for the longest time, but then the Nintendo GameCube came out. We fell behind on the trends again. Same with the Game Boy Advance. And also the PS2 and stuff like that. Then we got a PS2 because my mother wanted to have a DVD player in the living room that the entire family could use, so we all started using the PS2. And then it wasn't until like 2003 that we got a GameCube, and then for the longest time, the only consoles that I had were the N64 and my PS2, because I had sold my GameCube previously because I didn't like the GameCube, and I thought the GameCube was such a dead, stupid console, and I was so fucking wrong. And so I had those for the longest time, and it wasn't until, I believe, 2011 that I started to expand my console repertoire. I got my NES back from my dad, so at that point I had the 64, GameCube, PS2, and NES. Then I got the PS3, and then I just started gathering more stuff up. Now I have an Xbox, original Xbox, PS1, PS4, Wii, Wii U, you know. Yeah. Yeah, Kitty Cat. That's how we were with in our family. We couldn't justify getting any consoles until the console itself was cheaper than a DVD player, which it got to at one point. So that's how we got it. Your family skipped the SNES. So did mine. We skipped straight to the 64. My grandma had a SNES, and my dad had an NES that I started out on. But then we got a 64 at his house, and then I had that. By the way, Matterman, your bread arrived. Your bread arrived. Yeah, your bread came in today, and I'm very excited about that because I'm having that shit for dessert tonight. Yes! Oh my god, that's what I've been wanting. Thank you. Okay, I just got enough. Fuck up. Oh god, that was so good. I've been getting these SNES and other. I don't like having VBC. Oh boy, here we go. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 14, 16, 18, 19, 20. Why not? Finish! Okay, good. Your first recent console after your PS2? Yeah. Yeah, my PS2 was my main console for the longest time, but then I decided to try and get other consoles because, like, I realized I wanted to play a lot of different games, you know what I mean? And it's like, it was nice to have that. Missed a jump, great. Not as fast as it could have been, but still pretty decently fast. It's a 42 out, I'll take it. Your Wii was your first recent console after your PS2. My first console was a PS1 thing. I also... Wow, Shaq, that's smart. That's super smart. Got it. You prefer Prodigy? Okay. Yeah, 14. I'll take it. Still won the game. It doesn't matter how many cakes you get. We have a run! Never go to the physical game stores. I just buy on Amazon for consoles and stream for PC. Nah, I think my thing is that since I have the GameStop employee discount still, I can kind of, you know, abuse that to some degree. So I'm perfectly fine with going to GameStop, to be honest with you, because I'm saving more than I would otherwise get. Nice, 44. Finish! Yeah, with a discount, I can understand that, yeah. Pretty much. And so it's like, I have no problem going to GameStop because of that. I'm never going to trade into GameStop, because my thing is that if I buy a game, I'm either going to keep it or I'm going to give it to a friend. So even if I don't like a game, I'm going to go give it to a friend who will probably appreciate it more than I will if they like it enough. But more often than not, if I buy a game, I'm buying it to keep it. So, you know, I'm not going to... Yeah, my hair's doing the thing because I got a fan going because I'm hot as balls. Nice. Finish! Cowlick on the side. Yeah, I know. The fucking cowlick is actually from the headphones. See, what happens is that there's hair that gets sponged and is allowed to, like, flip out into the headphones, but the rest of it will get crushed down, so I get, like, this mad cowlick going on the side. It's actually kind of shitty, and that's the one thing I don't like about my hair, and that's why I want to get it trimmed up like a half an inch right now. Is because that kind of shit happens. So that's my only issue with this hair right now. There we go. Mike's Inner Anime is showing. Really? Is it? How about now? Was my Inner Anime showing then? How's that for Inner Anime? Nice! That's what we want! Nani? You are living the fucking dream, my dude. Is my life an anime?